Okay, ladies, Mercedes the Baby coming to you guys live once again from the house. I just got off of school, woo, and I actually got a really good topic request from my friend in New York at Young Tuna on Twitter at YUNGTUNA. Mwah, that's my baby from New York, and she actually hit me with a really interesting topic request. So I'm gonna go ahead and read that off to you guys, and it's something that I kind of know a lot about. So um, I want to get y'all's feedback. Of course, I'm going to give you guys my feedback, but I really want to hear your feedback on this because this is actually going on a lot in the gay community, and I want to know, like, what's up with that? She says, I would love to hear some feedback on these AGs telling and wanting to have babies with their girlfriend. She gets pregnant, the AG ends up leaving her. I talked to two femmes, and they said that this shit happens too often. Yeah, I had a baby for her, and she left me. I can understand shit not working out and y'all two end the relationship, but for the AG not to be around at all trying to help out with the child is crazy to me. And these bitches need to stop having babies for AGs thinking that she's gonna stay around because of a baby. If you want a child, that's cool, but don't do it just because she wants to have one. Straight bitches been doing that shit for years, and it's no different. A baby is not gonna make a nigga stay around. And be ready to be committed to that person to you have a baby with until the child is grown. I want a child one day, but I have to see myself being able to be and deal with that person. Um, one in a relationship and two dealing with a child. Bitches is crazy, and I'm not trying to be stuck with a crazy bitch forever. And then the same AG meets another bitch with a child who has a child already, and the AG is claiming the child is hers. I don't get it though. Okay. This is a really good one just because I have baby mama issues and I have a baby mama drama. And I've been dealing with this shit for years and years and years. And it's kind of weird because I'm the femme, or I'm kind of a femme, but my baby mama is a stud and she actually had the babies for me. So we're kind of in opposite situations. She's the baby mama and I'm like the baby daddy. And she's always calling me like, bitch, why you ain't over here? The kids need this and the kids need that and blah 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 blah. And as a matter of fact, she called me on Sunday morning and read me my fucking rights because I hadn't called the kids. Well, I did call them on Monday, and then she hadn't called me back. When I called her, her phone was off. I didn't leave a message, so she got mad and she felt, so yes, let me get into this. Okay, start with the first thing, and that is AGs telling their girlfriends they want kids. Okay, AGs, first of all, if you want a baby so bad, first of all, go out and have one. Okay, that's gonna be my first tip to you guys. If you really want a baby that bad, go out and have your own baby. First of all, don't depend on your girlfriend, anybody to have a child for you, because at the end of the day, that is not your child. And I know this. I can sit here and say all day long, my kids, my kids, my kids. But at the end of the day, those are not your kids. They're not yours. And you set yourself up to be hurt from that point on by that woman and that child, period. And that is the honest to God truth, because I have a baby mama, and from the moment those kids were not even born, she was using them against me. I mean, honestly. Oh, you ain't gonna see your kids. Oh, bitch, you want a trip? You ain't never gonna see your kids. Oh, you this, you that. Oh, well, I don't give a fuck because you ain't gonna see them. And yeah, my new bitch is taking better care and it's always going to be that. It's always. And one thing I can say is when you're young, you're in love, you're with somebody. My baby mama and I had been together almost 3 years when we decided we wanted to have kids. And luckily and unluckily, we ended up with twins. That could happen to you as well. And having two kids at once was very hard. And when you are already in a bad relationship, not even a bad relationship, my baby mama and I did not have a bad relationship. We had a very physical relationship. Anytime we argued, it was not a verbal argument, it was a physical altercation every time. There was never a time that we did not argue without physically fighting. And then adding children to that, of course, escalated the situation. And oh my god, it was so many things. So first thing I can say is, studs, stop trying to get your girls to get pregnant. Like, just stop. If you want a baby, have one yourself. I'm telling you. I cannot have children. If I could have kids, I would probably have at least one more, maybe two more. But, if you can have children from your own womb and you want a child that bad, have your own child. I'm telling you this just because I know too many studs who have been hurt and had children in relationships with girls, and a year or two down the road, they're fucked up by the whole thing. Like, they're so fucked up, they can't even get past that situation because of the fact that there's a child. And children are very precious. Like, one thing I don't think that people understand, especially baby mamas, when you're using this child against somebody, like, that scars us somewhere on the inside, as far as children, as far as relationships, just as far as bitches, period. Like, that is something that scars us, something that scarred me. I mean, I'm so, like, I won't even date a girl who has children anymore, just because of the fact I don't want to be in a child's life and then be taken away. So, that's happened to me so many times, even with my own children. And the crazy thing about my twins is my twins are named after me. I was there from before they were pregnant, before she got pregnant. We planned on getting pregnant. She got pregnant. Well, it's kind of a long story. We planned on getting pregnant. She didn't get pregnant. Then she went out and got pregnant on her own and came back and told me she was pregnant. And by that time, I was about ready to leave the relationship. And she knew by getting pregnant that I wouldn't leave. So she basically got pregnant to make me stay. And that's where she fucked up. And me staying, that's where I fucked up, because I just set myself up for whatever it was after that that she did to me. Because at that moment, I could have made that choice. Like, no, I'm not staying here. You cheated on me. You got pregnant. I'm out. But, me wanting children, me wanting that family, I stayed. So from that moment on, she used those kids against me. I'm talking about being pregnant, when they were born. I mean, just every moment and second, even to this day. I mean, she calls me with the bullshit. I mean, when I tell you that I have the craziest, like, baby mama drama all the time, and that's because she's in a relationship and everything like that, but she's constantly calling me like this, that, the other, blah, blah, blah. And if you cannot deal with your baby mama already, or if you guys have a physical relationship, or just y'all argue and fight, adding a child to that is going to be the worst thing that you can do. I'm not even joking. Like, the worst thing you can do. And just like she says, having a baby is not going to make you stay. My baby mama tried to make me stay by having kids, and where am I? Like, I'm gone. And, one thing I can say is that I try to be there for my kids a lot, but being a baby mama is hard, because you're constantly having to listen to what this person tells you about kids that you have tried to make your own. So you are caught in this power struggle. Like, those are my kids too, but then again, they're not your kids, and you can't make decisions on their schooling, their, place of residence, their doctors. There's just a lot of things that go into having a kid that you want to be a part of, and you can't be. My kids, my baby mama actually gave my kids my last name. And I mean, still, even to this day, she'll call me and be like, that's why I'm changing their last name. They're not going to be no Garza anymore. They're going to be this and this and that. And it's just like 6 years later, we've been broke up 4 years. Like, why are you still doing this to me? And that's how baby mamas do it. It's an ongoing. It's gonna be until they're 18 years old, even longer. Who knows? And even now, one thing I can say, my kids are 6 now. You have a bad relationship with your baby mama. What do you think your baby mama's sitting there telling those kids? And my baby mama called me the other day, and she's on the phone, and she's like, that's why you're this, that, and the other, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, my kids have to be hearing you say this. Why are you talking and saying all this in front of my kids? And it's like, yes. So, baby mama situations are usually, they can be good and bad. Like I said, if you're gonna have a kid with somebody, just make sure that that's the person you want to be with. Like, don't end up with a kid over here, kid over here. Now I feel like I cannot. I feel like if I were to have another child with another stud or whatever, then it would be the same situation, the same thing. And I've learned so much just from that situation that I honestly don't want to have kids with anybody again unless we get married, because I'm not going to put myself through that. If I told you guys how many times I've cried, how many times she's taken my kids from me, I mean, she's done so many things. Called the cops, told me she was going to call them, say that I had kidnapped them. Just so many things that baby mama dude, like you don't want to be in that situation. And you don't want to get your heart involved in a situation like that because when things go bad, they go bad. And the one thing I can say is just like she said, you don't want to be stuck with a crazy bitch your whole entire life. You really don't. And that's what happened to me. And guess what? I'm still dealing with that crazy bitch. Matter of fact, she texted me last night with some crazy shit. You know, it's like 6 years later, I'm still dealing with this shit. So you guys don't do what I did. Like, be sure that this is what you want. Be sure that you want to deal with this woman the rest of your life. Like, be sure of that. And another thing, be sure that whenever you set yourself up to be in this situation, that you're prepared for what comes with it, because having kids is not an easy thing. Like, you really have to think about what's going to happen in the future and how you guys are going to raise a child. You have to have the same morals, the same beliefs. Like, there's just so many things my baby mama and I do not agree with after having kids that we did not realize before having kids. So you guys, yeah. Also, okay, then we're talking about then the same AG meets another bitch with a child and claims that one too. Okay, this happens a lot. I know a lot of studs who go from girl to girl to girl who has kids, and I've known studs probably like 7 or 8 years who have like three different baby mamas, and it's like already annoying, and it's like every person that they get with is like, that's my daughter, that's my son, blah blah blah, or they just met like 2 months ago and they're already like, oh, my son, my daughter, whoop de whoop. Y'all, I mean, honestly, you guys got to understand that children are they're very smart. And one thing I can say about my kids is that, ever since my last relationship, I have stopped bringing people around my children just because of the fact that my kids loved my ex so much. And when we broke up, my ex had nothing more to say to them. She had nothing more to say, nothing more to do. My kids would call and ask for her, and it didn't really matter. It got to the point where my baby mama called me and was like, bitch, don't ever bring anybody around my kids are constantly asking for her, and I just don't like that they're crying for her, and she doesn't want anything to do with them. So, femmes, y'all need to be very careful about who you bring around your kids, who your kids get close to, because, even though you and this girl might break up and might not like each other or love each other, your child loves this person. And, that person might not even understand or care about what those kids feel after the fact. Just because you guys break up or have a bad breakup, they're not going to give a fuck about your kids. And studs, on the same token, you might fall in love with a child, and you and the femme break up, and the femme be on to the next one while you're sitting here crying for this kid that's not yours, and the femme doesn't care because, she probably brings lots of people around her kids or into their kids' lives, and so on and so forth. So, gay community, like, we really have to stop and think about what we're doing to our kids, and you really have to think about the people that you're bringing in and out their lives. You got to think about if you're going to bring kids into this world, how it's going to be, if the type of life you're going to give them and the type of relationship you're bringing them into, because at the end of the day, we're women, we're fucking lesbians, we have crazy lives, we fight, we argue, all of that, and you've got to think about bringing a kid into this equation. And if you're already, you and your baby mama, or you and your girlfriend already fight like dogs, the last thing you want to do is bring a child into that, because guess what? When those feelings about a child come into it, oh, it's going to be death. It's going to be, bitch, I'm fixing to kill you, okay? I'm fixing to hurt you. That is my child. So believe me, I know, I've been through it, had the whole baby mama bad experience, and I really feel like I'd never do it again unless I found a wife. So you guys need to be out looking for wives, not girlfriends, okay? Like, let's get that clear. So anyway, I guess I've rambled on for 15 minutes. You guys check this one. Leave me your comments, all of that, and follow me on Twitter at Say Something Baby. Follow me on IG. Say Something Baby again. You guys give me your feedback, and hopefully I'll be back soon.